So, why hating gossip is a sign of intelligence? It's a pretty bold claim, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why your dislike of gossip might just be a clue that your brain is wired a little differently. Okay, so have you ever been in this situation? You're with a group of people, and all of a sudden the conversation shifts to who did what, who said what, and you just feel yourself mentally check out. It's not just boring, it's almost uncomfortable, right? If that sounds familiar, then you're going to want to stick around because this is going to make a whole lot of sense. Now, the first thing we need to get straight is this. That feeling you get, that urge to just walk away, it's not because you're arrogant. It's not you looking down on people. And it's definitely not because you're antisocial or bad with people. Actually, it might just mean the exact opposite. Here's the real kicker. The reason you can't stand gossip, it's biological. Think of your brain like a high-performance engine. Gossip is like cheap, low-grade fuel. And your brain, it's literally rejecting it because it's demanding something better. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What is actually going on inside your head? Well, it all starts with something called the dopamine mismatch. This is where we get into the actual neuroscience of why gossip can feel, well, kind of like pain. All right, so for most people, hearing a juicy bit of gossip gives them a little hit of dopamine, that feel-good chemical. It's a reward. But for a brain that's wired for more, gossip is, well, it's just predictable. It follows the same old boring patterns. This leads to what scientists call cognitive boredom. Your brain chews through that simple, repetitive information so fast that there's no reward at the end. It's like solving a puzzle you've already solved 100 times. Your brain is just left feeling starved. And this chart really shows it all, doesn't it? For the average brain, gossip equals a dopamine spike, a reward. But for your brain, it's a flat line. You process that low-density information so quickly, there's no time for reward to even register. So instead of feeling connected, you just feel irritation. It's just mental static. So here's the key takeaway from this part. It's not personal. You don't hate the people gossiping. Your brain hates the information itself. It's like junk food. Your brain is wired for a gourmet meal of complex new ideas, and gossip is like a greasy bag of chips. It just instinctively knows it needs better fuel. And this isn't just about avoiding something bad. It's also about a deep, powerful craving for something better. And that brings us to our next big idea, this fundamental need for deeper conversations. This all comes down to what are called higher cognitive stimulation needs, and the key word there is needs. This isn't just a preference, like enjoying one type of movie over another, it's a biological requirement. Your mind doesn't just want to talk about big ideas, systems, or the future, it genuinely needs to, just to feel satisfied and engaged. So let's compare. To your brain, gossip is just noise. It's a total waste of your cognitive bandwidth. But what it's really craving? Oh, it's conversations with layers. It wants to break down systems, figure out psychology, brainstorm about the future. That's the good stuff. So when you find yourself tuning out during small talk or maybe even actively avoiding parties where you know it's all going to be surface-level chat, that's not you being rude. It's a defense mechanism. It's what we call protective withdrawal. You're instinctively saving your brain power for the conversations that actually matter to you, the ones you're literally built for. Okay, so this internal wiring, it's not happening in a vacuum, right? It's bound to have a real impact on your friendships and social life. And that leads us to our third big point. What happens when you start to outgrow your group? There's a term for this. It's called value drift. And it's a totally normal thing that happens. It's when your own mindset, your values, what you need from life, it all starts to evolve. And sometimes it just evolves at a different speed than the people around you. You're looking ahead and they might still be focused on the here and now. And what this does is create a total mismatch in what you're even trying to get out of a conversation. For a lot of people, gossip is about fitting in. It's about social conformity, drawing a line between us and them to feel safe. But your goal, it's completely different. You're looking for what we can call mental resonance. You want to connect with someone on the level of ideas and values, not just because you happen to be in the same social circle. And let's be super clear, this isn't about you judging them. It's about high-value integrity. It means you've evolved. You value real, authentic connection more than you value just fitting in. You've basically outgrown the need to use negativity to bond with people. It's a sign of growth. All right, this brings us to the final and maybe the most powerful piece of the puzzle. Why all that social pressure to just join in? Why it just doesn't work on you? It's because you're basically immune to groupthink. So why do most people go along with it? It's a powerful force called normative social influence. Deep down, it's that ancient primal fear of being kicked out of the tribe. So we conform. We go along with the group to feel safe, to feel like we belong. But here's where you're different. While most people are getting their self-worth from the group, it's socially sourced, yours comes from the inside. It's internally sourced. You're just comfortable standing alone with your own thoughts. You have what's called independent cognitive processing, and that's like a superpower against group pressure. And the science totally backs this up. Study after study shows that high intelligence is linked with lower conformity. Why? Because you've developed an internal locus of evaluation. That's a fancy way of saying you validate yourself. You don't need a committee to tell you you're okay. Your self-worth is not and will never be up for a group vote. So let's pull all these threads together. What does it all mean? It means you're not antisocial. Not at all. You're just, let's say you're broadcasting on a completely different social frequency. And this table really says it all. You have two modes of connecting. Survival mode uses gossip to bond, and the goal is just safety and fitting in. But you operate in growth mode. Your tool isn't gossip, it's ideas. And your goal isn't just safety, it's actual problem solving and growth. So the next time you feel that urge to walk away from a gossip session, I want you to remember this. You walk away not because you think you're better than anyone else, but because your brain is literally starving for something real. It's not a social flaw, it's a sign of a powerful mind demanding to be fed. You're not just avoiding the noise, you're actively searching for the signal.